Democrats remain in the wilderness as they try and find a path forward. Welcome to John Mike Keene as we laugh at their efforts.
I think she really did well in so many areas, and but I was frustrated by her inability to really succinctly answer questions at times. Jen, people notice that, and it's like, answer the question, please.
That's Katie Couric using bad words we don't use, but she's ripping on Kamala Harris for not being able to communicate. It's a little late.
Is Kamala Harris going to get a third shot in 2028 from the Democrats?
I would doubt it. I mean, this is usually how it goes. I mean, she's top of mind for everyone. She just ran. I think it's probably more likely in the sniffing around the possibility of her running for California governor than coming back to do this.
Why would the world punish California with a governor, Kamala Harris? They deserve what's coming.
I think that the 2028 primary is going to be full of very interesting characters with a lot of good stuff to run on. And you saw that at the DNC. People like Josh Shapiro, Gretchen Whitmer, Wes Moore, Gavin Newsom, people with great executive experience and records to show off.
Even Bill Clinton said that the Democrat Party probably wouldn't nominate a woman next time. That would knock out Gretchen Whitmer and Gavin Newsom.
But if you care about what they look like, then you're still the problem. If you say, well, look, she's black, she's gay, she's female, she's trans, she's left-handed, she's a redhead, fine, nominate Rachel Levine.
They're still stuck with their identity politics. And that's the big question. Is what is a Democrat now? If you remove all their identity politics of this candidate is black or a woman or whatever, they have nothing left because they never ran on any policy but identity politics. That is your casing, your skin, your body, and not your values.
But people want competence. They want common sense. They want centrism. They want some wisdom, some power with empathy. And for that, you're going to have to bury identity politics.
And I don't see how they bury identity politics when they've been building out their whole party with that for the last 20 years. It's been coming to a head, and now they have to reverse. They have to abandon all that. Jen Psaki had said last week that they shouldn't learn the wrong lessons and abandon the trans issue, that it's very important to fight for. And this is where we find out what they're made of, because that whole identity politics, that whole thing is to say it is immoral to abandon these underserved identity groups. And now if the Democrat Party say we're losing if we support this identity group, then it shows that they never loved it in the first place.
I think the perfect candidate should also do something that almost none of them do on the left, which is assume the best and not the worst intentions of the opposition. Meaning, you can tell us we're wrong, but don't tell us we're evil. Yeah, I think this has been the fatal flaw for the last, 2 decades.
And this is all they ever had also is a tantrum against the other side, that you're not just in disagreement, which is normal politics, but that now you're evil. And an entire party is evil, and that half of America is evil. Working class families, normal people are evil. They have destroyed their public standing where people are really resentful of what the Democrats have stood for. This is their fault. They chose this path. They doubled down on it. They bet everything on it, because if they won this last election, they would be demonizing every one of us, Trump side, and punish us and legally prosecute us.
And in the end, I think the Dems have to really analyze themselves and what they did. I don't know if they can sit there and say, let's see if we can get the working class back. No, you have to go to where the working class are right now. They're not going to come to you because they're not buying what you're selling.
And that's a big difference I see between the Democrats and the Republicans. The Democrats really poisoned, flat out said, like, if you're in the working class, they left them and said, come over here to our identity politics. And the working class said, no, we're not interested in that. We're hungry. We want lower food prices. Kamala came to that message too late without a very serious plan. Compare that to the Republicans, who, I'm not saying it's good, but we compromised. Trump clearly compromised in uniting a broader coalition with Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy. These were not the normal Republican fare. These were not Republican politicians. These were mostly, in fact, they were Democrats or liberals. Even in the last election, you had Elon Musk voting for Biden. The Republicans have grown the party by being willing to go where the people are. And Democrats, I don't think they're anywhere near the working class because of their snobby elitism. That's the biggest thing that we've made fun of them about. We've called them elites, and they flat out are. They're rich, white elites, liberals, and that's not a big enough coalition to win elections.
They're not into this elitist, even the concept of, paying Hollywood elites to show up as though they're going to convince Americans that this is the right person to vote for. It didn't work with Hillary, and it didn't work with Kamala.
Even Elon Musk, who's the world's richest, most powerful man, is not an elite. You can tell by the way he conducts himself. Trump would have, say, musicians like Lee Greenwood. When was his last top 10 hit? He's not on the charts today. Or Kid Rock, or Hulk Hogan. This was a message that ended up penetrating far better than I ever thought it would. And then you have Kamala Harris going to the latest hip hop rap star, all these Democrat hippies, and people just said, we don't, whatever you're saying is popular, all these Hollywood people coming out and supporting you, it backfired on them because we don't feel like they share our point of view. Same thing with all the View hosts, the five witches. People don't feel connected to these multi-millionaire famous people. They're elite. They're separated from our problems.
So, everything about how they're thinking is not really relevant to what Americans are thinking, especially working Americans who are hungry and who have never before, I believe, felt as distanced from the Democrat Party, and for good reason, as they do right now.
How do Democrats get anyone back is the question. If they're trying to get the working class, which Cenk Uygur also in our last video said, get the populist economic issues of Bernie Sanders. How do Democrats go back to the working class when the working class came roaring after Trump? Trump at the last UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Challenge event, the audience was going nuts for him. That's bread and butter, red-blooded Americans. And Democrats have really distanced themselves from that. People do not trust them, nor should they. That's what's so weird. The Republicans didn't lie to the working class. The Republicans said, we're going to bring manufacturing back. We're going to lower your taxes. We're going to bring your cost of food down. We're going to stop punishing farmers. We're going to get them cheap fuel that'll naturally bring their cost down. We had real solutions for the people. And now we're going to lower the cost of government so you pay less for government. And the Democrats had no solutions. They're out in the wilderness, and I hope they stay lost. I hope they go away and stay irrelevant forever. I'm John Mike Keane.